Moving forward into 11.5, we are going to add rational expressions. Now I want to make sure that we recognize this. They are going to have the same denominator. So today and tomorrow, today and tomorrow as well, we are going to be adding and subtracting. I'm focusing on addition today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the numerators and we're going to place them over the common denominator. Then we're going to cancel out any common factors if there are any, and we're going to find the excluded values. So let's move on to example A so I can show you that. Okay, this is going to be 5x plus 4x over 3. Because notice they have the same denominator. So I'm just simply going to add across the top and keep the denominator. That's what we do with fractions. Rational expressions they follow all the same rules as fractions, just sometimes the simplifying involves factoring. That's really the hardest part about these, is they're fractions on steroids. So if you struggled with just normal expressions like the quadratic expressions, the trinomials, anything like that, you may struggle with these. However, this is getting you a good review over this because we're getting ready after this test next week. We're going to go straight into review for your final exam. So make sure you are paying attention to all this information. Okay, from here we can see these are like terms. So I've got 5x and 4x. That is like saying I have a total of 9x over 3. Well, looky here. 9 is divisible by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and I keep my x, which gives me 3x as my simplified final answer. Since all I excluded here was a 3, obviously 3 cannot equal 0. We're done. Moving on to this next problem. Note again, they have the same denominator. So I am simply going to write 3x plus 4 over x minus 3. Oh, plus 4x. I forgot my second x. So now I have 3x plus 4x, which is a total of 7x, and it is over x minus 3. Now, don't look at this and say, I've got an x on top, x on bottom, I can cancel those out. You can't, because the x minus 3 is a binomial. You can't just take an x out of that. So this is actually simplified as is. There is no more factoring. Since I did not remove anything, I have no excluded values. Good to go. Okay, for this problem, for example C, we've actually got kind of a long one here. Note they still have the same denominator, so I'm going to focus on grouping. I'm going to go ahead and look at this and group the numerators. So I'm going to put the 5x cubed right next to the 3x cubed. So I've got 5x cubed plus 3x cubed. Okay, my next one is a positive 7x squared minus x squared. Cross that out, cross that out. Then I've got a minus 3x plus 5x, cross out, and then I've got a plus 1 and a minus 1. All of that over 4x. I'm going to start combining. So 5x cubed plus 3x cubed is 8x cubed. 7x squared minus x squared is a positive 6x squared. And then I've got negative 3 plus 5 is a positive 2x. And then plus 1 minus 1 is a 0. So I can now look at these. They all share a 2 and an x. So I'm going to take out a 2x. And I am going to be left with 4x squared plus 3x plus 1. All of that over 4x. If we note, I can take out a 2 on top and an x on top, 2 out of here, and the x on the bottom. So I'm going to end up total with my answer being, let's see if I can get it to fit, 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 over 2. Since all I removed from the bottom was a 2 and an x, I can simply say x cannot equal 0 because there's no other value there, so it's not an x plus 2 or anything like that. So I've got 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 divided by 2, where x cannot equal 0. Okay, let's do one more example on this. So this is example D. If you'll notice, it has 3 separate problems, but they all still have the same denominator. So I am going to put 3x, let me see, 3x plus 2x minus x, and then I've got plus 11 minus 4 minus 6, and all of that is over 8x squared minus 2x minus 1. Okay? 3x plus 2x is 5x. 5x minus x is 4x. 11 minus 4 is 7. Minus 6 is 1. So 4x minus 1 over 8x squared minus 2x minus 1. Now you may look at that and say, oh, I'm done. However, we can factor this. So I'm going to quickly show you how to factor that. So we do a times c. So we've got 8x squared, negative 8x squared because it's a negative 1. And then we're trying to get it to add up to equal negative 2. Okay? Well, I know this is going to be negative 4x and a positive 2x because negative 4 times positive 2 gives me negative 8. And negative 4 plus 2 gives me a negative 2x. I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to say 8x squared minus 1 minus 4x, 2x. Okay. These share a 4x in common, and these share just simply a 1 in common. These share a 2x in common, and these share a negative 1 in common. So this is going to be 4x plus 1 on top divided by 4x plus 1 times 2x minus 1. So there you got like a little brief review of this method of factoring, which I don't know if I don't think it was in any of the videos I showed you the other week. Now we're going to look at this and we're going to say I have 4x here and I have 4x here, which leaves me with a 1 on top because I didn't completely remove them. I just divided it by itself, which gives me 1, and a 2x minus 1 on the bottom. This is my simplified form. However, now I have to set 4x plus 1 can't equal 0. Minus 1, 4x cannot equal negative 1. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So I have x cannot equal negative 1/4. For the ease of your test next week and any quizzes that you will have over this, I will not have you do both of these in the same problem. I will have you simplify or find the excluded value. You will not do both in the same problem because it is very hard for me to make it to where you can type them up. Just know that any stuff for colleges or any testing that you will do as far as the MAPS testing, if you take the SAT or the ACT, they are going to want you to do both at once. So just keep that in mind. But for you, I'm going to split it just because it makes it easier on me with the grading, and it makes it a little bit easier on you not having to try and figure out how to type both up at once. Okay, tomorrow we will finish 11.4, and then Monday we will review. Tuesday we will have your test. So make sure you're doing these. Go back and watch my other videos. If you need to, reach out to me, email me, ask for help. Anything, let me know. I am here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.